This wrestling episode of the Nerd Corporation podcast may contain spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised. We are Nerd Corp Wrestling.
What up, everybody? It's WrestleCast Day. My name is Eddie Lyon, and I'll take a stink face from Naomi any day of the week.
Fucking for real.
Word. Feel the glow.
Right? With me, as always, is Derek Reese.
Man, I don't even know what day it is.
Man.
And Merson.
Hey, man, I just want everybody to know that this gray patch in my beard is a motherfucking blessing.
Hey, that's right. And we are the Nerd Corporation. Welcome to our Survivor Series 2024 review. For those of you that are new to this part of the Nerd Corporation, we dissect every match, talk about who we thought was going to win, who did win, and just our overall thoughts. At the end of every match, we give it a 1 to 5 rating, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. And we rate the entire PLE as a whole. So, let's get it popping. Let's get it started. First match was the women's War Games match. I predicted that Ripley's team was going to win.
Yeah, same.
Team Rhea.
She's way too over. I mean, just Rhea herself, not
Right.
even considering any of the other
Yeah.
parts of either team.
Yeah.
Rhea's just too over, and it's about time she needed to get a win. So
Yeah.
She just wanted. She barely has to do anything. And
Yeah.
people lose their mind. It's like
I do love that fucking mask too, though.
She came out looking like
Oh,
Shao
man.
Kahn from Mortal
Man.
Kombat.
peak freak mode right there.
Right.
Man. That girl is on some other shit. Boy, I love
Oh
it.
yeah.
And she looked like Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat 2. Remember how he had that fucking it's like that shit was cool. I thought this was a pretty like dope match. Nia and Bailey was like the absolute correct choice to start the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like that history that they have each other, so they know each other well enough to put on a really good show. Bailey like removing her strap and like beating Nia with it. And look, boy, Nia was looking good last night.
Nah, always look good to me. I don't care
Yeah,
what
me
nobody
too.
say.
But she was
Yeah.
looking extra good. She had the fluff
the
out
big old,
extra.
the big old, yeah.
Yeah,
big old Lions mane.
I told Misty too, like, God damn, that Nia's got a lot of hair going on. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that shit was blowing in the Vancouver wind, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that I didn't like about this match was that it just felt like everybody was too scared to pull shit off. Like
Bro.
Naomi, when Naomi came in and she had that kendo stick, and she just kind of like, oh,
They
now
was
I can
super
see-
weak
I can
with the
see
weapons.
Naomi
man.
being a little timid because she's been fucking up all over the place.
right. But I mean, like even the
But-
chair shots, those 2 chair shots that
Oh my
Nia did,
God.
you know what I'm talking about?
That shit made me so mad.
Dude, I think Io was the only one that knew how to use the weapons.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, them chair shots was so, and I think a couple of times they were not in position
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
receive the chair shots. But
Mhm.
either way, if you're gonna swing that motherfucker, swing it.
Right.
Yeah.
I know you're trying to be safe, but don't be
Yeah,
too
but
safe.
it looked so bad. It was just like, yo, like you literally
Yeah, I mean, there were a
showing
couple
the
of
fans. Like
times where there were just awkward moments of like, oh, okay, so now I do this. Oh, wait, but they're not in position yet, so
Yeah.
now I'll just pretend that I'm getting reset.
And
Yeah.
there were a couple of them, like the moonsault on the double chairs.
yeah.
That was a dope
Lorraine,
spot. Yeah.
she missed
Yeah.
it though.
Mm-hmm.
She
Yeah.
missed it. Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I think like that, all that shit was like super botchy. Like, and then like the things that weren't botchy, like didn't like, for me anyway, didn't catch me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how many times are we gonna see EO put a trash can on her head and jump off the top of
Right.
the thing?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Like
it was fun though. I mean,
Yeah, like I'm not
yeah,
saying
it
that they
was
weren't
cool.
fun.
I mean, it's always cool, but it's super like it's just like so super contrived.
like it just
Like oh,
seems
let's
like,
climb. Let's me and Io and Tiffany. Let's climb up the
well,
cage at the
this is
same
tried and
time.
true. Let's just go back to that, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
let's.
they're
you
just
know,
But
going to
like,
the well
but
too
like,
many times.
let's go up here at the same time. Oh, you're not ready yet. Let's wait
yeah,
for you. Let's. It just look like you know what I'm saying. Like you looking like that.
Hmm.
It's like
yeah,
it's
because I mean,
supposed to look more natural.
yeah, exactly. There's a way to time things and correct timing
Mm-hmm.
without making it look awkward and making it look more natural, and that you're not waiting and resetting and
Yeah.
like, I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. So it was just, I mean, I'm not just gonna sit and throw the negativity. There was good moments too.
Oh
You
yeah, there
know,
were definitely great
there was good
moments.
moments.
The riptide through the table was super dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the end, the double power bomb on Naya. You know,
Hmm.
they folded her big ass up. They
Yeah, they did. That
they
was pretty
folded that
cool.
big
Yeah.
ass up, boy. I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, I didn't know Naya could bend like that. Like, God damn,
Yeah,
boy,
Dude,
God damn, know what I'm saying?
dude, but
But yeah,
what the fuck was with Candice LeRae taking like a billion years to find a weapon before even getting into the
right.
match?
Like it was
yeah,
Like
crazy.
things
that
were
was
not
crazy.
positioned right even,
Yeah,
like,
it just seemed like that match, like I don't know what it is. I don't know if they needed to rehearse it more or if
Yeah,
it was
man.
something, but like that, like it would have been such, like had everything gone the way it should have gone. Um, that would have been like a big rated match for me.
yeah.
Yeah. It just some of the stuff just didn't land. Some of the moves just
Yep.
didn't impact like they should have impacted. And that's important, in these matches, especially a match like a War Games match,
Oh
like
yeah, absolutely.
you want everything to look like it's impacting, it's landing.
Yeah.
You want to hear that boom, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And we
exactly.
didn't
Yeah.
and that's been kind of my complaint with a lot of women's matches over the last little bit of time. It's just like, some of these moves just don't have
They
any
don't
type
hit.
of
They don't have
sustainability.
oomph.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's just like, like,
well, and another thing that I feel like they are quickly approaching, if not already over the line of going to the well too often, is Stratton cashing in.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted to do
I
that
yeah.
think
already.
this was the moment they should have let her cash in.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the tease is getting old now. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You're right, Derek. I agree with you. It's like make a move. Like it's
Yeah.
Survivor Series. It's a big event.
It's
You
exactly
know,
like this
they.
should I think this should have been Tiffany's moment.
I think so. I agree with that. I really actually thought it was coming, and when it didn't,
Yeah.
I was just like, really again? Like,
Yeah.
so what are they gonna do? Saturday night's main event?
Right.
Like they're gonna wait till
Do
Netflix.
a dark match, cash in, and she fails.
Yeah, like, like what are they doing? Yeah, just
She's
I don't know. They
she
holding on to it too
she's
long.
gonna fail a cash in at a house show or some shit. That'd be fucked up.
That'd be hilarious in Japan or some shit. Like
Oh
It's
my
just
God.
something random as hell.
mm-mm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I did like the fire extinguisher where,
Hmm.
everybody was like, "Ah!" Like,
Yeah.
that was hilarious. Like, okay, all right.
Yeah,
If
that
you're
was
like
funny.
right there with it in your face, okay, I get that. But
Yeah,
you're
but it
10
wasn't
feet
even it
away
wasn't
going,
even hitting nobody.
like,
It
no,
wasn't even
come
hitting
on. Shut
nobody.
the
It was
fuck up.
yeah,
Shut the fuck up.
that shit was funny.
It's not a
EO
poison cloud. Like, chill out.
EO is just funny herself.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
her whole persona is hilarious to me.
And
Like
it's crazy because like
uh,
what was it that Michael Cole was saying that like EO's been in the most, like it's been in like every War Games match
Yeah. Yeah.
since its inception for the women or whatever. And you can see
Right.
why, because she's the only one that knows what she's fucking doing in there.
Yeah.
She's
Mhm.
the only one that consistently wrestles solid throughout the entire
Yeah.
match.
And her energy, like the energy was up as soon as she
Mhm.
Yeah.
got in there,
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, absolutely. EO is War Games for the
I
women
mean,
MVP.
that can, and honestly, that's also sort of like shooting themselves in the foot because like she comes in, brings up the pace, and no one else in the match matches her pace,
Right,
and so then
Right.
it just makes it
Right.
look even more awkward, you know?
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
For
I don't
sure.
know. It's almost a catch 22
Yeah, true.
at
True.
that point, but
I gave the
Anyway.
match a 3.5. Um like I said, like had everything gone the way that it was supposed to go, this would have been a 4.5 match for me. Um Everything that they were attempting to do would have been so dope had they executed it properly.
yeah.
Um but either way, I also feel like Rhea's entrance fell a little flat. Like we were all just like waiting for it and waiting for it, and
Right.
she came in
Yeah.
and it was okay, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole thing with her and Liv was like it didn't feel as explosive as it has in the last little bit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I agree with you, 83.5. Same reasons. Um, yeah, the real live thing is kind of played out for me, man. I'm
Yeah.
kind of over. I know it's not done yet because I don't think there's still really been real, now that she pinned her at War Games, I'm sure there's a title shot at some point. I know EO's the number one contender, so I'm sure that'll materialize later. But
Mm,
I'm kind of over it, man. I'm like, I get it. Like she broke your face twice and shit, and
Yeah.
but it's like, all right, like
See,
it's time to move on.
I'm not over it to the point that like I was over, the bloodline and everybody else. Like that I was completely over it, move on. This, I feel like you could inject something new into it, like throw Naya in there. And, I feel like there are different ways that they could keep going with it, but also turn it on its head and make it fresh.
Okay. Yeah, I
But
think if
I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I think maybe if the next one, I think has to be something different. It has to
Yeah.
be. I'm gonna need a stipulation. I'm gonna need
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
real deal conclusion. I don't need no
You
interference.
know, I'd, I
I need a one on one. Like, let's get to it.
yeah. I mean, I'd actually be happy with a special ref that, fucks things,
right. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
like that'd
Yeah.
be dope, but I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, 3.5 for me. I picked Team Rhea to win, and Team Rhea came out there and did
Yeah.
their thing.
Yeah, I went 3.5 as well. I mean, there was nothing other than an overused spot meant to be the highlight of the match that was the only highlight of the match.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
everything else looked plodding and just chunky and like
yeah. Like the
nothing
pace
was
was just
smooth.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
everything was
so.
just like, hey,
Yeah. Oh, you're not in position. You're
what would
not
you,
in position. Let's get in
yeah.
position. It's
And then
like, yeah,
those weird feather touch
them
chair
chair
shots
shots. Oh,
from
that
Nia.
pissed me
Like,
off. That pissed me. It's from Naya, especially,
Yeah.
man. From Naya, like you the
what
big boss, you the big
what
boss dog in there. Like, what do you?
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Yeah, her and Hulk Hogan, man. They never learned how to swing a goddamn chair, bro.
yeah, no, it was the whole thing was just a very lackluster performance with an expected end.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, but let's
but
turn
yeah,
shit up though, baby,
Yeah.
yeah.
because it
Yeah.
got better.
Yeah.
Shit,
Oh man.
it got
Oh,
better after
did it
this.
get better? Our next match is LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the US title. I predicted that Shinsuke was gonna win.
See,
I said Big Shinsuke, man.
I thought Knight was gonna keep it.
No.
I just thought the way that it was the way everything was kind of happening.
Mhm.
Well-
Shinsuke coming back from hold
And
on.
I don't have
Hold on,
any
let me finish.
context.
Let me finish up there. Hold on. So check it out. So Shinsuke coming back from time off. He comes back and it almost seems like immediately LA Knight is like almost like kind of shook about it. Like he kind of looked like he started there was slowly like he started looking like he was off his game a little bit. And I think maybe that was designed to go that way to give Shinsuke some shine that he's been deserved that he hasn't gotten up to this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the way it was happening and looking at how they were doing, how developing the storyline was going, and how it was looking like LA Knight was like kind of becoming like a little his steam was kind of cooling off,
Yeah.
And I think they were trying to pivot real quick without tarnishing what he's done up to this point.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
Yeah, and all I was saying is that I have no context going into the pay-per-view because I haven't been watching
seen anything. Gotcha.
So yeah, that's all I was saying is that I have no point of reference. So I was just looking at it from the perspective of, well, LA Knight's been hot for a long time.
Yeah.
Nakamura has been gone for a long time, but before that, WWE was kind of like, fuck you, Nakamura. So that's the only reference or point of standing I had in even trying to guess the outcome of this one.
Yeah. See, Derek knows I've been such a fucking Shinsuke stan since fucking forever.
Mm-hmm.
Having him come back in the way that he came back, like you were saying, Merson, like it was super cool. He had this like cool new look. He's got this dope ass new entrance. He's got the black mist.
Yeah.
And Shinsuke Nakamura is such a great heel. He is one of the best fucking heels out there. So having him come out here and this match was such a good fucking palate cleanser.
Absolutely.
From the 100%. Match before.
So 100%. let me ask you this. The botch where they then the announced team were like, oh yeah, LA Knight's like all in his own head, and like, do you think that was intentional? Because it didn't look intentional. It looked really like
I wondered
mistake,
it's funny that you brought that up because I actually wondered that myself. Like, are they playing that? Because I was just saying before, that's how it's been looking. It's been looking like
it looked totally unplanned, unintentional.
It did because he's botched that a few times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you didn't know, but it played directly into
was that a happy accident where the announced team was like, yes, that's perfect.
Right. Yeah.
Or
right.
I think I agree with you. I think it was intentional. Unintentional. Yeah. I think it was unintentional.
I think it was unintentional, but I just think it worked for what was happening. Because Corey Graves pointed out that the LA Knight dropped his title on the way to the ring.
Yeah.
Like he pointed that out.
Like that, I feel like was intentional.
Yeah, like maybe that was, I was like, damn, is that how they making this is supposed to look? But kind of to continue off of what you were saying, Eddie, Shinsuke coming back, the new like kind of dark warrior persona that he has, because before he had the flamboyance and but it's like it seems so much more no nonsense and more aggressive,
which is what I like when people turn heel, because that's usually what they do. They'll go from like this big flashy fucking character to like this like no nonsense, like how Woods is happening right now.
By the way, Eddie, let's give Nakamura his due. He's not just a great heel. I mean, he just has charisma oozing out of every pore, and he's gonna succeed no matter what he does, unless he gets saddled with some shit character intentionally.
He's effortlessly good, man.
And
it's easy to tell that he's very seasoned, been doing this for years. because we're fans, we know the legacy,
Hmm.
and I probably got onto it a little bit later,
Mm-hmm.
but after he came to WWE, but because I remember back in the day, like hearing his name,
Mm-hmm.
but not really knowing much, and I know like he had matches, I think, against Brock Lesnar in Japan, and then against Kurt Angle in Japan. And
Yeah,
that's
AJ
that's more
Styles,
AJ
like,
Styles as well. Yeah, that's how I learned about
Yeah.
him. And I was like, holy shit, like this dude is a fucking like the guy in Japan.
yeah, no, he's the
Like it's
truth.
not just like a wrestler in Japan. Like he's highly revered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
And so I think him coming in now and taking some time off, maybe he needed that to kind of hone back in and do what he's doing now.
Yep,
Hmm.
But I love it though. I love it. I think it's a way to take him more seriously.
agreed.
Than because people might have seen all the flamboyant shit and
Yeah.
whatever and might have thought a way about that. But this is like
Exactly. Yeah.
this here is like, yeah, you're not playing with that guy.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
You take away the flash
Yeah.
of what he's doing, and now you've got like just that raw. And
skill, like all the skill.
by the
Yeah.
way, I saw this on an article that I was looking at earlier, and it referred to Nakamura as the Naka Taker,
The Naka
The Naka taker.
which I liked a lot. I thought that was great.
I really like that.
The Naka taker. That's
The
funny.
Naka Taker. Yeah, it was
Oh
pretty
man.
dope. But
Yeah, but
but yeah.
this match was incredible. I mean,
I thought it was great.
it was solid.
Yeah.
It was just everything that you wanted out of LA Knight and everything you wanted out of Nakamura. Like both of those guys
Mhm.
came together and made art. Like it was
Yeah.
super artistic. The reverse exploder on the top rope was one of my favorite moves.
Yeah.
Um,
That was nice.
that eye scratch that turned into that reverse DDT that looked like he fucking dropped him on his fucking head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on the back of his on the back of his dome, man.
Dude, it was crazy. It was super solid match, and like I said, it was a good palate cleanser from the
Yeah.
women's war games match, which had no structure and was just all
Yeah.
over the
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, did you say what you rated it?
No,
Rated?
I gave this a 4 out of 5. It's
Okay.
just super solid. It was, excuse me, it was incredible. Two of my favorite guys going against each other. Like it was all I wanted. It was a dream match I didn't even know I wanted to happen
Yeah.
until it
Yeah.
started happening. And um like I was playing Call of Duty while I was watching wrestling last night. And I'd like stop and just watch. And I'm getting fucking killed like left and right on Call of Duty because I am like, oh shit, this is real. And I had to like stop and like exit the lobby and fucking just like focus on
Watch.
the match.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man, I agree. I gave it a 4 out of 5 as well. I just thought it was a masterful performance by Shinsuke, man. Just the offense, the
Mhm.
just the just how he strikes, how he, and all of that with the heel persona, put into it.
Mhm.
How it changes how he moves and how he does things. Like he does a like spinning back elbow that looks like something a
Mhm.
Right,
fucking
that
samurai would do.
yeah.
It's like that shit is dope. Like he's killing that shit. He's like I don't. I was watching that match and I'm just like, wow, this guy's really good at what he does, man.
Oh man, Shinsuke's the
And
truth.
Yeah.
yeah, and not to take away from LA Knight, LA
Mhm.
Knight's been having a run of runs, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
and he absolutely deserved everything he got with his title run. But I'm not mad at all about Shinsuke taking it and getting his run because he's well deserved of titles and trophies and accolades and everything, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
I feel like this is LA Knight's stepping stone.
Well, that's what I
Like
was.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I
right.
was gonna get
Yeah,
into,
right.
and when I go into mine as well. But
yeah, like he's not done after
no,
this.
No,
You know, like
absolutely not. Yeah, yeah,
it's probably IC title time. It's
yeah,
probably
yeah,
even world
yeah,
title time
yeah,
for LA Knight. I feel like
mhm,
yeah.
he did more than deserves it, and with a quick rise, because this is we went from this man being the leader of the maximum male models just
Mhm.
last year of Marseille and Mansour to being one of the biggest names in wrestling
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
So
Who have turned tail and fled to AEW.
right, yeah. So I mean, it he deserves it. So I don't
Yeah.
see this slowing LA Knight's momentum at all.
No.
So I also gave it 4 out of 5. And like I said, I had no context of current story going into the match, but retrospectively, um, with hindsight, it all like that everything that happened makes sense because yeah, like I was gonna say, I I wouldn't have been surprised if they had kept the belt on him longer, on LA Knight longer, but it makes sense with the hot streak that he's on that they gave it to him for, a pretty standard amount of time, had him drop it, and they're going to segue him right into something else.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then also Shinsuke coming back and having this be his first match back, it's definitely not surprising that they would put him in that, if not to
Mhm.
win it.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh, although that's one of the reasons that I was like, oh, they're probably just going to keep it on LA Knight was because of how disrespectful they have been to my boy Nakamura.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
No, I get
I
it.
would not
yeah,
at all have been surprised if they were like, oh look, he's back. Womp
yeah.
womp.
I kind of think this was kind of the save face from that a little bit
I mean,
for
yeah,
how they've been doing them like the past year.
yeah.
I think this was kind of like, okay, like we got to show Shinsuke that he's actually
Well, yeah.
valuable
I mean,
because he's literally one of the best in-ring performers that we have.
yeah, and it's to me, it's kind of like almost a Cody situation where, I mean, Nakamura's done what he could with the shitty stories they've saddled him with.
Yeah,
But fortunately, I think they've learned their lesson a little bit
yeah,
and didn't just, completely toss him to the wayside. They course corrected, and
Yeah.
so that's great. But but yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it shows like just the if you look at the last 5 years of Shinsuke Nakamura's timeline, for
Mhm.
uh he was they were still trying to get him to speak English. They were they were putting him up against people just for him to fluff them,
yeah.
but like in the last year or so, you see oh
Yeah. I was
I have
like,
a
yo,
I have a cat now, apparently.
I'm not gonna tell you what that looks like from this
Bro, it
angle on
did.
this
It did. It
computer.
looked like
I
a
was
big
like,
furry dick just
bro,
came up and fucking
like you gotta, can we log off first before you start this? Like, what the fuck is going? And why does it
My
look like that?
my
are
dick
you an
was
alien?
my
Yo,
dick
what?
was pulling a Jungle Book.
Oh my god,
Trust in me.
man.
Trust in me.
um, but yeah, like
Oh shit.
I was saying, he gets to speak Japanese now, and he's like being menacing, and he's like,
Yeah.
it's a complete difference,
Well, yeah, because
especially
how hard is it to try and sound menacing in a second language that you're not fluent in? I mean, like
Right. Yeah.
that restricts like
Yeah.
60-70% of what you can do there.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I
But
think they needed to show that Shinsuke was valuable, man. They need
yeah.
to show him that
Mhm.
we appreciate you, bro. Because
Mhm.
they have to. Like you can't not like that guy's legacy and everything he's done and accomplished and even in the WWE that he's
Mhm.
accomplished, and y'all can't not value that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
You know what I mean? There's no way. So I'm glad that they gave him the U.S. championship.
Yeah, and I do like
And
the update to the entrance music too.
Yeah, me too.
yeah,
It's pretty
yeah.
fucking cool.
It's
like
pretty sick.
everything's clicking
Yeah.
over there. So yeah.
Before we get into the other two matches, since you're listening to us on YouTube, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the little bell notification. We want to get into as many nerdy ears as possible, and that's the best way to help us do that. We have merch, redbubble.com/nerdcore podcast gets any of our sayings and logos like this one on anything from mugs to shower curtains to shirts to mouse pads to whatever your heart desires that's on the site.
Alien dicks.
Yeah, right. I almost wore my shirt today, actually.
Nice. We're on TikTok now.
Yeah.
Check us out on TikTok at Nerdcore Podcast. We put all of our reels and all of our fun things on there. We follow everybody back. We are also on Blue Sky. Go check us out on that good place. We follow everybody back there too. We've partnered with Dubby. Go to w.gg and use promo code NerdCorp at checkout for anything site-wide. At least we think so. If you love us and want to support what we do, consider supporting us on PayPal, paypal.me/NerdCorp podcast. We want to have the best loot, give you the best giveaways, and give you the best nerdy experience, and that is the best way to do that. We are going hot. Catch us live on Instagram Saturday, December 14th. We are going to be doing the Hot Ones Challenge. Myself, Derek, Merson, Cole, and Nick, the entire Nerd Corporation is going to be there. Come watch us eat hot wings.
Yeah, we'll see who still is alive afterward.
Yeah.
All I know is I'm not doing shit. I'm planning on doing nothing afterwards. I got to take like 10 shits or whatever happens. But I'm with the shits. Let's go.
Gotta take a preventative Imodium.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be crazy, but I'm excited though.
Catch us on Instagram at NerdCorp Podcast as we go live for the Hot Ones Challenge. So the next match is Ludwig Kaiser versus Braun Breaker versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental title. I thought Braun was going to win this one.
I said Braun as well.
Yeah, I wanted Sheamus, but
I did too.
Yeah,
my heart of hearts was like I
would have loved for Sheamus to get it, but I knew better. Honestly,
that needs to be a one-on-one thing. That needs to be a one-on-one thing, and it has to be it needs to be either at the Rumble or at WrestleMania. If they're going to give it to Sheamus.
If they'll give it to Sheamus, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and the story has to be more there. Like they didn't do
I think
anything.
Yeah, I think it's a build up. I think
I think so.
Yeah,
they have because they're crossing paths and they're doing the thing but it's like I think it's gonna lead to.
I think they're laying groundwork.
Yeah, it's gonna lead to something bigger. I think. But regardless, hell of a match, man.
Oh my God,
from these dudes right here.
These three put on, no pun intended, or maybe pun intended, a banger. They put on a banger. I was kind of nervous for Ludwig Kaiser. I thought he was going to be hell out of place, but he actually really he stepped up and held his own. Really,
he did his damn thing, man. And he's been growing on me. He's been the promo. I've been seeing the promos. He might be better at the pompous German shit than Gunther is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that.
He's killing.
Well, he just has that sneer.
That, that smug,
it's perfect.
That smug, arrogant face. That's like the dude, man. I just want to slap that dude. I think he the shit or something. Man.
I can't think of anything other than Parker Lewis can't lose when I see him, though. If anybody's familiar, if anybody's familiar with that show,
that's a deep show. That's like Fox or some shit. What is
that's
old? Way back in the 90s.
Every time I see him, I'm like, it's fucking Parker Lewis can't lose.
That's funny.
Oh, that's funny as hell. I haven't heard anything about that show or anybody reference that show in literally probably like 20 years, bro. That's crazy.
Dude. Every time it's like a buff ass cut Parker Lewis.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
that's
funny as
fucking
hell.
great, dude. But he did good. He did so
Oh, yeah.
good,
Killed it.
dude.
Yeah,
he
he
killed
did.
it, bro. He killed it, man. They had like the three of them together actually had amazing chemistry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
and
Absolutely.
you got Sheamus in there with the just the good old, Irish
Smash mouth.
brawler, and then you got Braun with he's so athletic, it's ridiculous. Like it's just
Bro,
not
he
even
was
fair how
flying
athletic
all
that dude
over the
is.
place. Like
Yeah, the way he moves, bro, is just like that shit is. I don't even
Yeah.
know. I don't even know what to. It's not human, bro.
cat's tails just smacking you in the face.
I know.
Not human, as in Derek's fucking alien.
Derek's fur dick.
Yeah.
Braun. Oh, pussy.
Hey,
She's like,
little
what?
pussy. Give me a little
Right.
pussy.
Braun flying over the place, like he would just fly from outside of the camera.
Yeah,
oh,
just
dude,
fly
me
right
and
into the
Misty and I
to
laughed
the
our
frame. Like,
asses off about that. Like, she was like, "Where the fuck did he come from?"
What's that scene in 40-Year-Old Version when Leslie Mann gets into a car accident? That fucker came out of nowhere.
Bro,
For
yeah, he's
real.
just flying in there like a fucking superhero.
But
Like,
He's got to be
cements.
careful though. Like,
Yeah.
he's gonna get fucking hurt
Yeah.
sometime soon.
But that
he
just
moves too
cements.
fast for his own good almost. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
That just cements though that he's just a freak of nature. Like he's
Yeah.
just this
Yeah.
like he is literally his son, his father's son, a genetic
Yeah.
freak.
Yeah.
Like
Like, how proud of him do you think Big Papa Pump is?
oh
Like,
dude,
Oh, they
no.
took it. He took it to another level. Like,
yeah,
and I think it's dope how he pays the homage, but he
Mhm.
still stands out as an individual.
Yeah,
You
he's
know what
still
I'm
his
saying?
own person.
Like you could like he like the lineage where he
Mhm.
comes from, and he throws you back to it.
Mm-hmm.
But he also is I'm him though.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not I'm not Braun Steiner.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
really like that. So
Yeah, I agree. I think the match had everything. It was
yeah,
high octane, it was thrilling,
yeah.
it had all of the moves.
Wasn't a whole bunch of flips and
and
and gymnastics and
this
shit.
is one of the few instances where the match was good enough and just all over the place enough that like all of the fake finishes were like legitimately like, oh god, like
Nah, for real.
they
You're right
were
about that.
so well done, and
Yeah.
it wasn't overused. It was
Mhm.
like it wasn't the same fake finish over and over again.
Yep.
It was like it was
Yep.
so good.
It was
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
I gave the match a 4 out of 5. I think it was incredibly solid. It was like I said, it was high octane, it was thrilling, it had everything. I mean, those three different styles, the brawler out of Sheamus, the technical wrestler out of Ludwig Kaiser, and the overall powerhouse genetic freak that came from Braun was
Yeah.
such a good matchup with each other. Like I said, I thought Ludwig was going to get buried in there.
Yeah,
He actually just like he shined just as much as
Yeah.
the other two did.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm gonna give it I gave it a 4.25
Oh,
just because I thought it was amazing. I thought like, we just saw Shinsuke and LA Knight, great contest. So I'm like, okay, they got
yeah,
to step it up if they want to, and they did. They did. Like they turned it up. Like it was just like, holy shit. Like this, like Braun Breaker just hopping off the apron and crashing into them on the announce table.
yeah,
It's just like, yo, this guy he don't he don't care
yeah,
like
yeah,
about his body at all. Like
wild.
he's risking all his limbs to
Mhm.
entertain these people out here.
Mhm.
And the people love him. They do all the barking shit. You know what I'm saying? It's lit in there when he does it. It's just like
yeah,
his presence in there, the way the fans react to it, it gives it a bigger feel,
Yeah, agreed.
and that makes a difference when you watching matches and when you it adds to the entertainment aspect of it, and
Agreed.
Sheamus, man, getting beat down with the shillelagh and still
Oh,
just getting
man,
up
that
and,
was-
Yeah.
walking away. Like that dude is one of the toughest dudes probably WWE ever seen, man.
Yep.
And it's just like he's still doing what he's doing at where he's at in his career is crazy. And man, I would love to see him get that IC title at some point.
It's happening. No, I think it's
It would
gonna
be dope.
happen. They wouldn't
Yeah.
tease. They wouldn't tease that he's never won the title if they weren't going to
right.
give.
Right.
Especially having him like get so close to a 3 count for it and
Mhm.
Yeah.
only having it ripped away by Ludwig. Like,
Yeah.
Braun wasn't even kicking out of it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the groundwork is definitely being laid.
I think so. So yeah, 4.25 from me, man.
I'd agree with that. Like, cause yeah, it was just an even better match than the one before. Like,
Yeah.
so I would agree with 4.25.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Next match is Gunther versus Damian Priest for the world title. Gunther. I predicted Gunther.
I said Gunther.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected, like, again, there's not, and yeah, I've missed a lot,
Uh-huh.
but in terms of context, but like, there's not really any reason I've seen that they were like pushing Damian Priest to, have this great
Yeah.
show, this overwhelming,
Yeah.
Yeah.
story behind
And see, and that's
why he would win it.
that's what I felt. Like I don't know what we were doing or what we were supposed to do as far as like moving forward, except for maybe like that Finn thing at the end. So maybe
Right.
he'll challenge for the title.
Right.
But we've seen this match before.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we've
Yeah.
we've seen it, and I don't think anybody watching this that is even a minute amount of a wrestling fan thought that Gunther was going to lose.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I mean, and not only have we seen this match before, we just saw it again at the last big event of
Yeah.
the Big Four.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
why give it to us again as Survivor Series? That
Right.
didn't really make a lot of sense to me. Having said that, when I saw the SummerSlam match, I thought it was good. And I was like, I wouldn't mind seeing that again.
Mhm.
I didn't expect it to happen here, but I think maybe they didn't really they might not have a whole lot of opponents for Gunther right now.
Yeah, maybe.
So I think maybe they're trying to kind of stall out some time a little bit to figure it out.
I hope
But
so.
I mean, the match was good.
Yeah, it was a fine match.
It was
wasn't
a good
bad.
match. It wasn't a bad one. Like it was entertaining. It actually started off kind of technical.
Yeah.
Like they were doing arm bars and shit. I'm thought they was just gonna get in there and start throwing bows and chopping and get to it. But it was which I mean I thought that was kind of cool.
Mhm.
And I gotta give it to Priest for being he's good at selling, man.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
He's-
Oh yeah.
He's good at selling.
He makes
at
people
selling
look
some
good.
stuff. Like
Well, and that, like, with everything that happened with his arm and everything, I almost feel like they're trying to say that the only reason that he may have lost is because of the arm. So like,
to
I'm a
not
little,
make him
I'm a
look,
little,
yeah.
I'm a little bit worried that they're laying the groundwork for another match.
Yeah.
And I hope not.
I hope not either.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
this
don't
is,
want to see it again. Like I didn't
Yeah.
mind seeing it this time. Like whatever. Like I said, it was a good match. But I don't. After this, I wouldn't want to. I feel like now it's time to move
yeah,
on.
like it's time to move on or get something in the way of a good solid foundation of a story. Like,
Yeah.
because there's just saying, "Oh, you almost beat him." That's not
Yeah.
enough. That's not a story. That's not.
Yeah.
Give him
Right.
somebody else. Give Gunther someone else.
They can give them somebody else. I mean, they got what? They got Saturday night's main event coming up. They got Netflix coming up January 6th. They can figure out something in between that time.
Absolutely.
I feel like, for the Royal Rumble, whatever they need to do. But yeah, it's time. It's time because nobody is gonna believe that Gunther's gonna lose to Damian Priest. Like
Yeah.
nobody's gonna believe that. Like,
I
and
mean, I
Damian
would,
had his run and it was cool. Like I've actually kind of made a fan out of me. Like I've
yeah,
said that before, but I don't see it happening.
I would be so much more into a, you know, right turn into Damian Priest and Finn Balor finally getting into it in
That's what needs to happen.
a
That's what
direct
needs to
way.
happen.
Like,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
with you on that,
okay,
Jay.
great. Let's, oh, Finn fucked him over again. Like,
Yeah.
okay, enough.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, it's like because they had the match already. Like
Yep.
him and Finn had the match already.
Yeah.
It was whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really nothing special, but I might even be interested in seeing that again if they do it better
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
they did
Agreed.
before. You know what I
Agreed.
mean? But because I'm sure, like obviously, there's gonna be something that comes from him interfering in the match. So
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, but hopefully this time.
I mean, it would be really funny if they had a match between the two of them and Damian Priest had somebody run out and interfere so he won. And be
Right.
like, see how
Right.
it feels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Nah. I gave the match of 3.5. It wasn't a bad match. Like you said, Merson, Damian Priest sold that arm pretty well. I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
The match was there, and I don't know if it felt like we could have watched this on a Raw or SmackDown or wherever they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree, Eddie. I gave it a 3.5. I just like same stuff you said. It was just like we saw it once, and I mean they did a great job at SummerSlam. That was I think maybe that was even match of the night that night at SummerSlam. But here it was just like we didn't need it again. Like
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
we could have had it anywhere else, like
Yep.
house
Agreed.
show, fucking whatever.
Something.
But not in Survivor Series, man. They could have
This was a
gave Gunther
decent
somebody
Raw
else.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Yeah, like
Exactly.
main event the Raw one more time and call it a day. You know what I'm saying? Like
Agreed.
we didn't need it again. Maybe I think they maybe just be stalling out for something else. But I feel like you could have gave something else for Survivor Series. Survivor
Yeah.
Series is one of the big events. Like you should have had something in place for that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was 3.5, good match, solid match, whatever. But we all knew what the outcome was going to be.
hmm I mean, I would say 3.5 as well. I mean, especially with that big botch right before Finn came out,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that had everybody yelling, "You fucked
yeah,
up!" Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
that was
He was not
great.
supposed to fall off that off that
Yeah.
turnbuckle like that.
But yeah, I mean, each of those guys always puts on a good show, but
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah,
I mean, it even that turns into a yawn fest when there's nothing behind it. There's no
yeah. There was nothing like
driving reason for that to even exist.
yeah.
Like,
The build up was like, all right, I mean, it was pretty much the same build up from the last one. It was just like, oh, I'm Damian Priest. I'm from the streets. Uh, Gunther is a pompous, arrogant, rich kid and shit, and we don't get along because of that and
yeah.
whatever. And then, oh, but maybe he's a little scared of me because I'm the street punk and this. I'm like, man,
Yeah,
like,
it's the most superficial shit.
all right,
Like,
yeah, this is mid pack, bro. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
like this is like it's nothing. We saw this already. Like
Yep. Yep.
it was
Exactly.
nothing special about it.
And now for our main event of the evening, uh, OG Bloodline versus New Bloodline War Games. I actually thought the New Bloodline was going to win.
oh really? No,
Yeah.
I had old.
I
I had
definitely
old.
picked OG. I was like, ain't
Yeah.
no fucking way they did all this building up and Roman been getting his ass kicked for 2 months.
Well, that's what I thought, dude. Because I thought like
You
since fucking Roman was getting his ass beat, and I figured because I mean, and the old bloodline is just like fractured.
Right.
I figured, oh, okay, they're gonna give it to the OG bloodline, and they're gonna run this story all the way to fucking
Oh
WrestleMania.
no. See, I thought the OG was gonna win. Like, there's no way, like, because you would basically be dismantling everything that you've built in the past if you let them lose at this point again.
Right.
Right.
That's a good point, Derek. And yeah, I just felt like because of the fact that Roman was getting his ass kicked for all this time, that when it came down to it, the actual match, they're gonna let him prevail. You know what I'm
Especially
saying?
where you combined all the rings, Captain Planet's back.
Yeah.
Like,
For real, yeah. It's like, yeah, come on, you gotta give him this one. And the turmoil within the OG bloodline made it interesting, but I felt like by game time it was like they'll get it together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To at least for the night to handle business.
Yeah.
Right.
And they did that. And I mean, hey, and this shit actually turned out to be fire.
This was a crazy match.
They killed this.
One of the things that I noticed was the fact that Jey Uso comes out after CM Punk and Roman Reigns.
I said that same thing, bro.
Speaks so many volumes to how over he is right now.
He's the hottest in the game, bro. He's like when 50 Cent first came in the rap game. Like everybody was just like, yo, that's the dude. Like, I don't give a fuck. All these dudes been here. They had their moments. It's tight. It's his moment now.
It reminds me a lot of Raise the Roof Booker T.
Oh yeah. Because he used to do the same thing. Come out in the crowd and do that, and people would go crazy.
Everybody was raising the roof in WCW with Booker T when he was doing that shit. And like it was crazy. And then right at the beginning, it was really fun. I honestly, in my heart of hearts, think that Tama Tonga forgot that he isn't supposed to pin him yet.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, I think he went for the pin, and forgot.
Yeah, no, he forgot. I think he
and
did.
then he's all, "What are you doing? Get the fuck off me!"
Yeah, just based off the whole thing, like the whole thing around him. He forgot. Like, even if he didn't forget, he forgot.
I don't know. I think he just wanted a moment. He's like, they ain't giving me shit. I know it.
They'll talk about it, like
I'm gonna
I
take
think that's
this.
the thing. I think that's his thing. I think he just fucks shit up on purpose. And then like they talk about it on the internet, and that's his
that's his
Somebody's
shine.
gonna talk about me for one reason or another.
That shit is funny.
But what Tama, I didn't know Tama Tonga was fucking Spider-Man either. Like,
that motherfucker was climbing on everything.
He climbed all over the cage, and I was like, yo, this dude is you got some strong legs to be just doing this shit all over this cage, all around the cage like that, bro. Like, I didn't know he was Peter Parker too. I didn't know that.
This match was just good storytelling altogether.
Excellent
I think
storytelling.
The one thing I didn't care for though was introducing them like they were football players.
Yeah, that
was stupid. That was
Misty
stupid,
and I were looking at each other like, what the fuck?
I didn't know what was going on
here?
for a second. And then when the only thing that made me click, because I was kind of like on my phone, like doing something before the match started, and I'm looking up and I'm like, what the is this? This ain't Monday Night Football. What the fuck? Like, what's going on here?
Tonga Loa was the only one that went to a fucking university. Like,
right.
The only thing that would have made that great is if Key and Peele showed up at the end of it.
Yeah, bro.
Ingle McCrinkleberry.
Ingle
McCrinkleberry.
Brian, what did he say? Tsunami State.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on, bro?
Shut the fuck up with that
Bible Chief University.
Yeah, like what? Like, okay.
Like, and I was so, both Misty and I were so faded by this point. that I had no concept of what was happening. Like, why is this even going on right now? Is this
That's what I was like, yeah,
am
like
I
this is
dreaming?
what I thought I was seeing shit too. I was like, yo, like what is going on? Like is this real?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Yeah, man.
I really did like this. Like I said, I really did like the storytelling here. Like that whole thing with Roman like blocking CM Punk so Sammy could go
Yeah,
first,
Yeah.
yeah,
and
yeah,
them like locking the cage so
yeah.
that he'd
which
The
have to
which
tension.
climb
like
up.
which by the way, like not only was that a slight that they needed to show for that rift between those two, but
Hmm.
I like that also warmed my heart. Like, yeah, Sammy, he's the boy. Go, man, go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
give
because
Sammy a little shine.
Roman was giving like Roman had Sammy like on a leash almost. You know what I mean? Like he's
Yeah,
yeah,
just like
yeah,
I'll let you fuck with us, but I don't trust you still. And the fact that he did like was like,
yeah.
nah,
yeah.
let him
He's
go.
like, but I'll trust you
You're
before
part
I
of the
trust this
bloodline.
motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get in there.
Mr. Best in the fucking world over here. Fuck him. Like, yeah,
Right.
you get out there, Sammy. You got it. But yeah, I just think, man, they brought the action, they brought the storytelling, they know how to swing chairs. Sorry, ladies. Sorry, ladies. Y'all got to take some lessons from
Yeah.
the men's war games
Yeah.
and learn how to position yourselves, right, and swing chairs right. I'm sorry. Like it was just like, it was believable
Agreed.
watching them swing the chairs. You
Hmm.
Mm.
know,
But
they're making the impact you're supposed to make. You know what
you
I'm
know what
saying?
though? I mean, for all of the failings with the chairs, like we at least got to give credit because like I mean that those things will come. But like Naya, we wanted her to be safe and to get better at the core things, and she did.
She
Yeah.
So
did.
so
She
now
has,
let's
and
just
she
add
has.
these other little pieces to the game, and
Yeah,
she'll be solid, you know?
yeah, man. No, the guys did a great job. You got Jacob Fatu still looking unstoppable. They had to kill
Oh
him
my god, dude.
basically to
Yeah.
to to put him down, and I love that they're building him like that. Like
Yeah, me too.
it's like that just tells me that he in the future he's gonna have an unstoppable run
I mean, it
in the
does worry
future.
me a little bit because they've all the people that they've done that with within the past decade, they're unstoppable, they're unstoppable, they're unstoppable, they're jobbers. Like,
Yeah.
so it does worry me. I mean, look at Rusev. Like
Yeah,
what
that was
they
a tough.
fucking did
Yeah,
to Rusev. Like,
yeah,
god damn.
fucked
Yeah.
up for real. But
So it does worry me, but it's great.
I
It's
also
great for
think
the time being.
I also think Jacob Fatu is not Rusev though.
No, I know. Yeah,
True.
totally. And he's got a lot more going for him in the way of connections, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
probably not going to treat him like that. But
right, right.
it's still concerning. But like the way that they're using it, they're also doing a really good job with. Like
I think so.
it's
Yeah,
not like a ham-fisted cram it down your throat. Look,
right,
he's an unstoppable force.
Yeah.
right.
Like
Yeah,
it was with Naya for so long.
Yeah.
You know?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they're doing good. I just hope they keep on that upward trajectory, you know.
Right. Agreed.
yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. I'm with you on that. What'd you guys rate this thing, man?
So I gave it a 4.5. I think the storytelling, the match itself, that I think the just like the elements like that like assisted back body drop that they did where they
Yeah,
were like holding one of the
yeah,
Usos up
That
like
was
that.
yeah.
fun. I
That was
like that.
that
That
was
was one of my
interesting.
spots.
I thought that was cool. I was like, damn, I've never seen nothing like that. That quite
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that done
Mhm.
before. They held him up like he was getting crucifixed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like that shit was
Um
crazy.
that Bronson Reed spot where
Oh my
where he
god.
tsunami'd off the top of the
Woo!
cage, but like CM
Yeah,
Punk came in and
yeah.
grabbed him.
Save Roman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Storytelling, super fine
Beautiful
storytelling.
storytelling.
Yeah,
Beautiful storytelling on that.
it
And then
it
he
was.
extended his hand to him, and yeah,
Hmm.
I was like, yo, this is classic. Like
Hmm.
this is how you do this right here.
Yep, I think it was a great main event. Like this one, Like this was the first time in a few months where I felt like the main event was like,
Like a true main event.
yeah,
Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah. I
yeah,
agree. Oh,
and
go ahead,
that's
Derek.
I was gonna say, and that's what was so great for me about it is, not to belabor the point, but again, I have no context going in, but every bit of this, like almost it wasn't self-contained, but like for its own little story for the match itself, like told me everything I needed to know. It caught me up, and it was a great story in and of itself without having prior context.
yeah,
Right. Yeah.
So like it was
Yeah.
so well done.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, 84.5 for me as well. I think they masterfully told the story. I think that the action was very well paced and timed, and everything seemed to flow effortlessly,
hmm
throughout the match. And that's the type of matches that's like are the best to watch when it's like everything just flows like seemingly like how it's supposed
yeah,
to,
exactly.
Yeah.
and you know, the shit I gotta give props to Jimmy Uso, man. Like he showed out in
Yeah, he
this
did.
match, man.
Mm.
He did the Jeff Hardy move. He
The
did the
whisper in the
whisper in
wind.
the wind. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was like, oh, what the fuck? Like
yeah.
Jimmy Hardy in this bitch. Like what is this? Like this
Yeah,
is
he,
crazy.
he he came back. He came back slinging.
He did. He
Jimmy
did.
gonna
He did the top. He
Jimmy's gonna
did
eat world.
Jimmy's gonna.
it's gonna take some time, face ass. But that splash off the top on the Jacob on the table,
Yep.
like you know what I'm saying? Like he showed up, man. He showed out, and I think this. I think everybody came in and did their job to
Yeah.
perfection,
Absolutely.
and it was. I think even the way they ended it with everybody, the OG bloodline, everybody jumping solo, like
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
doing their special moves on them,
Yeah.
the finishers on them, and he's trying to be defiant and shit, like knowing like, oh, they got me now, like
yeah,
what I'm gonna do, man? I gotta fight my way out of this. Like it's like fuck that, I'm going out swinging. He tried to spike, so he's like, nah, bitch, we got you, bro.
yeah.
It's over. Like and Roman getting the pin, obviously that was important.
Right.
It's like they killed this, man. I think that's the best main event we've seen probably since WrestleMania on some real shit.
Yeah. I mean, I would say 475 on this for me. Um and like that extra bit is primarily because like never in a million years could you have told me that, especially with how much I like the new bloodline, well, at least, Solo and Fatu
Mm-hmm.
being the main ones, because everything else I'm just kind of lukewarm on. but like never in a million years could you have told me that I would root for the OG bloodline, because
Right.
it was just so overdone. Like,
hmm
Yeah.
I mean, that was a steak that was fucking cooked all the way through. Like
hmm
that, like all the way through. That thing was charred
hmm
all the way through. Like, to me, I couldn't be bothered to give a fuck. Um, so like the fact that, within that story, within the context that I did have, and the story that they told throughout the match, like I was stoked for the OG bloodline to win. And the fact that Roman not only had all this animosity with Punk, but then even went so far as to accidentally spear Punk, and then Punk still was like, "No, man, let's get through this and let's do it. Let's like we need to win," and helped
Right.
Roman out. And then Roman turned around and gave him that respect and shook his hand and helped him up. Like like all of that just made me go, "Okay, all right."
Yeah.
Like, people have had heads pulled out of asses, and like, we're back to like a, hey, like, this is our group. Let's do our thing. And it's not about ego anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that to me, like, just really put it over the top.
Agreed. I think this match, um, this is, and I hate to go back to it, but I just really need to cement the fact that if the women's match had gone the way it would have been, it would have
Yeah,
been this caliber of match.
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Yep.
Eh,
If they just crispied it up a little bit more, and
Yep.
and yeah, it could have been on the same level. And
Yeah.
yeah, this like when I'm watching the women's match and I'm watching this match and I'm like, yo, the men. I mean, and a lot of times the women outshine the men. Like I've seen
Yeah.
it,
Yeah. I've seen it
but
too.
that last night that Survivor Series was not the case, man. The men took that. They
Yep.
took that. So yeah.
So, uh, we come to the question of what was match of the night for you?
Ooh, man. I I have to. As good. I mean, here's what I'll say first. This pay per view as a whole, PLE as a whole, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
was the best, like from top to bottom, PLE that we've had. Like I said, probably since WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe might have even been more like top to bottom, like good, like as WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just feel like, man, like even the the women's match, there was entertaining and great moments in it with the negative stuff. Even with the Gunther and Priest match, wasn't a bad match.
Mm-mm.
There was nothing behind it, no steam behind it, but it
Yeah.
wasn't a bad match. I think it was thoroughly overall entertaining, and I feel like I have to give it to the main event. I have to, just because. But I wanted to say L.A. Knight and Shinsuke, and that's probably I would say that's probably my favorite match.
Mm-hmm.
But just as far as like the what the best match was,
Mm-hmm.
I have to give it to the main event, man.
I
It,
I I actually 100% agree with you, like line
Yeah.
for line. Like
yeah,
the main event was exactly that. It was the main event, and it was the thing that everybody wanted to see. It was the thing that everybody got to see and enjoy. And I agree with you that if it wasn't for the main event, Shinsuke versus LA Knight would have been match of the night for me.
mm-hmm.
So what I'll say is main event with LA Knight and Nakamura coming in at a C hair
Yeah, yeah,
second.
yeah, yeah,
I agree. Like for me, the main event, it was so, I guess, I mean, captivating, if you want to call it that, because of
yeah.
like just the scope of it, like how
Mm-hmm.
much history
Mm-hmm.
is involved in bringing all of these elements together now at this time with these future elements knocking on the door. I mean, it has such a huge scope in terms of, um, possible outcomes, possible veins of story moving forward.
Mhm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, like I say, I mean, just everything that went into it, from everything that's happened the last 2, 3 years,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is all now being pulled into this nice little package. Like it couldn't have done any better, I think.
Cool.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I would
I
agree
agree
with
with
that.
all that. I agree with all that.
What would you guys rate the PLE as a whole?
I think I'll give this PLE as a whole a 4.25.
Okay.
Yeah, I really was genuinely entertained the whole time. I like we just to I guess kind of rehash it. The Shinsuke Nakamura victory. That match was a masterclass. The triple threat match, super entertaining. Like that was they came in and took advantage of the time that they had and blew it out the water. The main event served up to all the hype and every purpose it should have. And yeah, I just think overall, yeah, this was really good, man. And I don't think anything has been this good for a while, like just as a whole. So 4.25. Yeah.
I mean, I would go with that too. My answer would definitely have been different had the women's match not been first. Can you imagine how
Oh my
jarring
God.
it would have been for that to have like, the United States title, IC title, and then women's? Just like
Yeah.
how jarring of a whoa, whoa,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that would have
whoa.
been.
That
It
would
would
have
have
been
deflated the whole
harsh.
thing.
Yeah,
Deflated it.
that would have
Yeah.
been so bad. But like with the positioning of all of these matches, I think 4.25
Yeah.
is a good rating for that.
I'm also gonna agree with you guys and go 4.25. I, it's just like you said, Marcin. From beginning to end, there was just this entertainment factor that, even though there were the problems that there were, didn't
Mhm.
it didn't deflate anything. It
Yeah.
didn't stop the momentum of anything.
Right.
Um, these people came to work that
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
on Survivor Series night, and I was just completely entertained. It was probably, yeah, like you said, like the best PLE we've had since, if not matching the WrestleMania card.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, man. That's what I'll say.
Well, that concludes our review. Let us know in the comments what you think. We hope you enjoyed it. As always, you can follow us on social media.
On Facebook at the Nerd Corporation, a podcast.
On X and Instagram at Nerd Corp Podcast.
And you can catch us on Blue Sky and TikTok at Nerd Corp Podcast. Since you're on YouTube, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. We'd love to get into as many nerdy ears as possible, and that's the best way to do that. If you love us and want to support what we do, consider supporting us on PayPal, paypal.me/nerdcorp podcast. We want to have the best loot, give you the best giveaways, and give you the best nerdy experience, and that is the best way to help us do that. So, from all of us here and not here at the Nerd Corporation, we thank you. We love you. Keep it nerdy, y'all.
Bye.
Know what I'm talking about?
Hey.